Good evening and welcome to the Town of Southbridge, a joint planning and development subcommittee town council meeting. It's Tuesday, August 5th, 2025 at 6:15 p.m. We're in the Veterans Meeting Room. It's possible a quorum of the town council may be present and discuss the agenda items, but voting rights shall be limited to subcommittee members in attendance. We're being recorded both by audio and video means. That was the call to order. Roll call. Councilor Adams.
Present.
Councilor Kelly.
Present.
Citizen Member LaRochelle.
Present.
Citizen Member Bernadone is excused, and I'm here, so we've got 4 members and a quorum. Item number 3, review, discuss entering into the Project 4 Community Development Block Grant Funded Housing Rehabilitation Deferred Payment Loan Contract between the town and the property owners in the amount of $122,500. Entertain a motion to recommend to the town council for approval.
Motion. Second.
Thank you. Sue, would you like to come up and tell us what's going on?
Oh, this is one of those dozen projects that you're familiar with. The full amount that they applied for is eligible, and the total is $122,500.
Questions? Councilor Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just addresses. I know in the past when we've asked about them was due to HIPAA or whatever, privacy. Is that the
Privacy
same
laws.
issue here?
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay, anyone else? Councilor Kelly and then Dee Dee.
I think Councilor Dow at one time expressed some frustration with the lack of information that we get on these, and I kind of echo that frustration. I'm not sure what privacy concerns there are. Is there any legal basis for us to be concerned about privacy here? I mean, this is public money that we're giving to a private individual, and I don't see what the legal basis for keeping addresses and names private. I don't see the legal basis for it. So,
Through you. I've sent out the information about the legal basis for this in the past, and I don't have it in front of me, but it does have to do with Massachusetts privacy laws that try to protect those who are eligible for this program because they are defined as low to moderate income. It's actually a requirement of the grant funding. We're required by the funders to protect their identity, which means redacting their name and address.
If I could just echo her comment, we were just on a call with EOHLC about a specific project, and they didn't even want us to reference the name. They said, please, we're trying to maintain privacy here, and so we name them by project number. So that's how sort of stringent they are with us about it.
even if we can have to not disclose the address, not disclose the names, still there is a lack of information with regard to the project and the proposal. I mean, what are the specifications of the project? I haven't seen any documents back, at least in my packet. I didn't have any background on any of these.
That might be something Sue could provide you following this meeting. She was supposed to have followed up with background scopes of the work.
It all went out in the attachments for the meeting, or at least it all went through the proper channels to go to you.
I
It should have
only
been
got an
attachments.
agenda for tonight.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It looks like Dave got more than
Yeah,
that.
you know what, they have scope of work on these if you want to take a look at it.
Okay, I'll excuse myself again.
John, I also could only open the agenda. It said the packet was there, but when I opened it up, it was just the agenda.
Yeah.
Was that the revised agenda or?
I just
the
got
regular?
the notification of the meeting, I RSVP it,
Mhm.
and then the agenda, and I opened it, it was just the agenda. I couldn't get the contents.
just to answer the question, or try to answer the question. When they advised the agenda, I went to open it and all it was the agenda. But there was an RSVP calendar thing, I think the day before, the day of, actually the day of, right below it, that had the entire agenda on it. It just, didn't have the revised agenda, but it had all the documents in it. At least that's what I got.
I did RSVP saying yes, and then shortly thereafter, I got the agenda on top of that, and I opened it up and it was just the agenda.
So it was just the agenda on the second email, but if you look in your calendar, there's an attachment PDF file attachment on it. Maybe I'm not saying you didn't get, I don't know,
You're
but
right.
I have to go into my calendar, click on the PDF file.
It just comes multiple ways sometimes that it's, can be confusing, or, or you can miss it very easily. And I believe that starts up at the office upstairs.
That's a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, you're fine. Counselor Kelly?
I have not seen or had a chance to really go through any of these documents, fortunately, because as I said, I couldn't find the background materials. So yeah, I mean, it would take me
Takes a while to look at it. You're right.
take me longer than we have tonight to look at this. So, all right, so I feel like I'm in the dark on these. All right, so,
Okay.
thank you.
That's fair. Ms. Larshaw?
Okay, you say that we cannot get names or addresses. So when people apply, do you get a name or do you just get a telephone number or some other way with the application, or do they have to give you a name?
They give us their name, and they give us access to other confidential information. But it's part of our policy to protect that information, meaning we redact it, we don't leave it out in public, we keep it in a locked file cabinet, so that
So
only
that's
the
your
people,
policy.
and it's only people with legitimate access can see any identifying information.
I'll be honest, I'd like to go drive by properties and see what they're talking about. I'd like to be able to know where these places are, just to go in the dark and say, okay, just give them the money. I'm not comfortable with that. I really am not. I tend to want to follow up with everything that I'm gonna be voting on. And I'm not comfortable not having any idea. This is like just give somebody money. I'm not comfortable with that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Anyone else at the table? Chairman Lazo?
Just a quick question. What are we protecting them from?
We're protecting their privacy, and their income, according to the state, is private.
So what we're trying to protect them from is exposing their income?
Protect them from being labeled as low to moderate income.
But they're going for public money, but the public can't know about it. That's kind of hard. It's a hard balance, you know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. In other words, give me the money, but you protect them from labeling them, is what you're saying.
Right. The rules come from the very top about protecting privacy. And then they give us standards to assess.
When you say the top, who's the top?
State.
Okay.
State.
Your DOHLC.
It comes actually from state law about what's defined as private. And the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities that gives us the funds refers to the state law and says you must follow this and you can't identify them. We can't even send the state information with the names of anybody who's applied.
Thank you.
Peg?
In the past, we had gotten around this by bringing them to executive session.
Correct.
Councilor Adams?
I yield to the subcommittee. I wanted to understand, where it comes from, that's all.
So I guess I know we've brought this up before on the same type of issues when we've given out some type of mini entitlement funds. And we asked a lot of the same questions, but I guess the oversight of anything that's being done, and then making sure that within those 5 years, I'm assuming a soft lien on the property itself. And it doesn't stop people from putting a FOIA request in as well, attempting to get this information, correct?
A FOIA request would just redact any sort of privacy information.
Well, I mean, they can appeal that process. The fact is, I mean, we've dealt with this before, and there's the oversight on it. So, you know, okay, that's all I've got.
Okay, very good. Council Shania, then Councilman Tigney.
Kind of been vocal about this in the past, and we've gone to executive session with it. The difficulty I have is the fact that we give CDBG money to Gabe McCarthy, to the people on Central Street, to the people on Hamilton Street, to the people on Main Street. Their names and those things come out, and we know where and who's getting the money. I don't understand really what the difference is. I'm not asking for somebody's wages on either side of the business. I don't even care really so much about the name of the address where this is being done. We're the steward of the money. I just don't understand why we control the funds, but we can't know where the funds are going. I have a hard time understanding that. But like I say, the CCBBG money for Hamilton Street, for Central Street, we get to know who those people are, and how much they're getting, and the project that they're doing. And, you know, the reason I like to see that, I like to see the progress that's taken place, or something that said it's gonna happen that doesn't happen. For instance, the awnings on Main Street's been unplugged since they've been put there, never opened up. So, I mean, those are things that, as a counselor, people say to me, how come those things aren't working? And I know who it is, but this project on housing rehab, we don't know. Years ago, we used to know. My first round back when that was on precinct 3 at the time, we knew where our money was going and who was spending it. And the concern back then was that multiple people didn't get multiple grants. So that's all. I just don't get it.
Okay, Councilman Tigney.
Thank you very much. I did some quick digging online. There's Mass General Law 23B, Section 29. I won't read it or anything, but it protects like businesses that are receiving CDBG grants and their financials and stuff like that. There actually is no law that protects individuals and households' names and addresses. Now, to the previous speakers from the economic development, they said that it's in the application rules.
None of you said it.
I thought that it was part of the rules was that you could not disclose. I thought that's what you said. Maybe I missed. Okay. If that's accurate, then obviously if it was in the rules of the grant, then okay. But I'm not finding any reason why these names should be kept private unless there's specific to the rules of even getting the CGB money to begin with.
Just to clarify, are you referencing me or Sue?
Sue, I believe so.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure if you were out there, but I think you said it didn't come in a Mass General Law, which you're right, it's not. It was in the stipulation. Is that accurate? Or? And I don't think anybody's like coming at the department. I think we just want full disclosure, because I feel uncomfortable too as a counselor, like not knowing where the money's going. I mean, I think it's fair to request that, you know. So if we can, we'd like to. I don't see why it should be an executive session either. The public should know we're giving money to it. But thank you.
Very good. Ms. Dean.
Yeah, so in the past, I'm not sure what Councilor Chen is referencing. I'm for certain that Sandy had to bring it to executive session for you. The memo that we actually had was originally from Sandy. This is our first year doing housing rehab. We've just adopted what Sandy had implemented back in previous housing rehab rounds. So the last housing rehab cycle was in 2015. And in that memo, it referenced, it might have been the Federal Privacy Act and a court case and, what the standings were that justified protecting these recipients. Sue can send that out again for us to look at. Maybe we could get an attorney's opinion on it. But I think at the heart of Councilor Tenger's question about the why commercial rehab, why not housing rehab, we have three criteria for the CDBG money. You're either low, moderate income, you're fighting slum and blight, or it's an urgent need. Urgent need never gets funded, so it's usually these two, low, moderate income, or slum and blight. All the Main Street projects that we're doing for commercial rehab fall under the slum and blight. That's how they are eligible. If you're eligible for housing rehab, it's because you're low, moderate income. So that idea of the second you say someone got housing rehab, you're basically saying they are low, moderate income, they fall under this income. So you're disclosing by virtue of their eligibility. So I think that's sort of where it gets awkward for us. Like the second we disclose it, then we've outed that this person is low, moderate income. As far as we understood, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be protected. So that's where we're stuck. If anyone has suggestions of how to move forward from it, then by all means.
Didn't we just do some rehab money or roofing and that kind of stuff?
Correct, and they were all labeled as Project 1, 2.
Right, so that just didn't, this is an ongoing process that started a little while ago, this rehab money.
It's just in this fiscal year 22-23 grant.
So the
now
roofing
that's-
grants that we just
That's
issued
it.
a while back, that we went to executive session for.
We never went to executive session. Sue advocated, she started in September. She brought the first project to the town council. She advocated that the privacy be protected and it not go any further. And the council agreed. And so
And that's how we
since,
went to executive
yeah,
session.
it had, none of them have gone to executive session.
Ms. Larishall.
Peg, is it possible to get at least just the address? I don't care about the name. I'd like to do drive-bys and see, as it's been pointed out, is the work being done? What is going on with it? Like I said, I'm just not comfortable. It's like you're coming to get a loan and saying to the bank and saying, I need $120,000, but I'm not telling you what I'm buying or what I'm doing with it. It's a big secret. It's like, I'm just not comfortable with it. I'm sorry.
Councilor Adams.
Just a recommendation here. Is there a way, if we did an executive session before, then on a Monday night meeting at 6:30, we have an executive session to go over these items and vote on it at a town council meeting? If everybody's worried about the addresses. I am too, obviously, but I think, to move these things forward or stop them where they need to be or whatever it may be, we do an executive session just to throw it on there and say, let's do this, and so we can get a good brief on where it's at, instead of stalling this at this level. I'm referring that to the chair of the council.
Again, it's a healthy discussion here. Is that satisfactory to the councilors? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think you're hashing this out, and there's a suggestion to go to executive session. Now the discussion has to shift, if that's okay. I mean, if the council says that's what they want to do, I'll make the call tomorrow morning.
Councilor Kelly.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman. I think it would only be appropriate to go into executive session for a discussion of, and disclosure of where the addresses are. As far as a vote is concerned, I think that needs to be a public vote.
Oh, it would be. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, but I don't see where, given that we, the council, is required to vote on these projects, it seems to me we should have a need to know where the money is going and who it's going to. So until I have access to that information, I'll be a firm no on all these.
Okay, so if we call an executive session before the meeting, in other words, say we bump an executive session for a half hour, discussion on whose the money's where this money's coming from and who it's going to, where the address is. At that point there, is that enough information to vote at council?
Yes, I would say yes.
You might want to research it or,
I'm trying to look for
Okay.
some direction on, is there a deadline, or is this like, hurry up, we need to do this right now, or is this something that can be pushed off till Jack gets back and further discussion about the executive session? It's up to you, I mean, I'm gonna do whatever you have.
Is there a deadline?
Everything is deadline driven because we only have so much time to complete the requirements for the grant. I think maybe Jack's suggestion personally about the town manager coming back and weighing in might be good, and getting the state's opinion in writing about whether or not this is disclosed, or an attorney if that's what you want.
Okay, Councilor
And
Adams.
then if that's the case, wait for Jack to come back, obviously, he'll be playing catch-up. Can it wait until the second meeting of this month?
Yes.
Okay? And they'll give you time to put something in writing at the same time to satisfy future issues, possibly.
The discussion today will end at subcommittee, and then I'll get the direction and we'll take care of the rest of it upstairs. You'll have an executive session before, and then after we'll have it on the agenda.
Okay, right now, all right, that makes sense. Right now, we have a motion to recommend this to the town council for approval. That's the motion on the floor. So,
Move it up without recommendations, that don't bother me.
okay,
You know, in other words, you wanna vote, if you just wanna, you know, vote no, I'll send it up for more discussion, vote yes, further discussion. If you vote yes, you're pushing it up either way, it goes to town
either
council.
way it's going up.
So, but I would prefer you to do it in a positive manner, vote yes, and then if the information does not come through prior, then vote no at the council meeting. But at this point here, with the understanding that we're gonna go to executive session, find out the address and the person,
Mhm.
then that would be the reason why you're voting yes.
Okay. Councilman Tickman.
Thank you. So also there's two things to satisfy, because I know that people, when they think of this, they're like, well, how is it, it's not gonna go to subcommittee now, it's gonna go right to executive session and then council. But if we find that this was something that was supposed to go to executive session to begin with, then it's really not a subcommittee discussion anyway, at the end of the day, in hindsight. So I'm okay with the executive session thing too. But also, if you're gonna find out information from legal, I think that we're chasing two things now for the 25% match, and now the explicit names and addresses. It's like Sandy's old case law. Like, we don't even know if it's real or not, both of those things. So if we're gonna do the due diligence to find out that information, I think it'd be best if we could get all the information regarding this that we don't know. And then if executive session is where it goes, I'm totally in favor with that too. I hate that we have to keep bringing this up at subcommittee and now wasting people's time, and we're not going in the right direction. Executive session does sound like the best.
Okay, Council Shania.
The only thing is, I don't want the town manager to decide if we go to executive session or not, it's the council's decision.
Well, that's between the council chair and the town manager.
Correct.
They.
Yeah, we're giving a rec- sorry.
We're making a recommendation, you're right.
Right? 'Cause the-
No, but they're advising, this subcommittee meeting is advising me.
Council Shania.
It'll be the chairman, but if the council requests to go into executive session, we can overrule the chairman too.
So we're advising me, let's,
Well-
to get that.
But we're relying on him for that decision, not Jack.
We'll go by what the charter says, and we'll go with what the
Okay.
charter says.
Yep.
We'll follow the
Good.
charter. So,
Next.
So, as I'm hearing it, you would like to know the name and address of the property because it will inform your decisions as to whether you vote in favor of or against this. I don't think finding that out in an executive session before the town council meeting on Monday will be sufficient for people to use the information the way they're saying it's intended.
So,
Wait a minute.
Meaning, if you find out at town council,
The
the
thing is,
name
I
of the
think
person,
Councilor
where they
Councilor
live.
Adams has said not Monday night, the following meeting.
yeah, 2 meetings.
The second
25th
meeting.
or something
Yeah.
like that, whatever that
that
is.
gives
So we
plenty
have
of time for
time to-
anything.
Time. Plenty of time.
Is that what you said, Dave?
Yes. We can always wait until, because like I said, Jack's just coming back to have that conversation. If it's not
Yes.
deadline, it's still this month that it could pass or whatever.
This subcommittee right now is having healthy discussion on the information. Peggy has offered up an executive session offer. Now, the previous economic development person did it a certain way. You know, in Southbridge, sometimes we do things the wrong way because we did it that way. Me, you're right, I call it the Southbridge way. And for me, it's okay, we have a bunch of new players at the table. Let's just work to find out, how do we want to do this? It's not I don't think there's a bad side to this issue. I think this subcommittee has to happen right now to direct this council to have that executive session. If it wasn't for what's being brought up by your subcommittee members, I would never put anything on without their subcommittee saying, let's go there.
That's right.
So I'm looking at the 10 reasons for the executive session. And maybe you or the town manager can give me a better scoop on it. Like 7 says comply with an act of authority of any general or special law or federal grant and aid requirements would possibly fall under that category. So I just want to make sure that we're going to executive session for the correct reasons, just not to go into executive session for absolute no reason. Yeah. Just want to make sure we're following the law too. So.
That sounds good.
Okay, so you'd be looking for a positive recommendation on this?
It's a positive recommendation, let's go to council, and the suggestion is to have an executive session for, under the Privacy Act or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we will go forward. So
Okay.
at this point here, if you're in favor of it, to go up to council with an executive session,
Yeah.
we're adding that caveat to it.
So we need an amendment. All right,
You're
so
directing me to do this.
we need an amendment that states that we recommend this to move up to town council. However, that it be reviewed in executive session
On the 25th,
on the
or
20th.
whatever that date is at.
That's the 25th, the second meeting of the month, yeah. Then you still have it possibly on the
Okay.
25th for a vote.
Okay.
So moved.
Second it.
Okay, very good. So we have an amendment to move this to the 25th in executive session. All right, that's the motion to amend. All those in favor of the motion to amend? No one opposed? Okay, now we have an amended motion. Any further discussion on the amended motion? Okay, all those in favor? Unanimous. Okay. All right, we need to do this for the next 4 of them as well. Number 4, review, discuss entering into the Project 5 Community Development Block Grant funded housing rehabilitation deferred payment loan contract between the town and the property owners in the amount of $61,648. Entertain a motion to recommend to the town council for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Does anyone wish to amend?
Make that motion to amend it, to move it to the 25th, with the understanding that it'll be executive session prior to.
Very good. We have an amendment to the motion. All those in favor of the amendment? Very good. We have an amended motion. All those in favor of the amended motion? Very good. Item number 5, review, discuss entering into the Project 6 Community Development Block Grant Funded Housing Rehabilitation Deferred Payment Loan Contract between the town and the property owners in the amount of $22,430. Entertain a motion to recommend to the town council for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Very good. Anyone wish to amend?
Make that same amendment.
Second.
And a second. Discussion on the amendment? Nope. All those in favor of the amendment? No one opposed? All those in favor of the motion as amended? So be it. Item number
This one
6.
doesn't need an amendment, you can vote on it. It's commercial rehab, and the names are identified.
Say that again?
On number 7.
On 6 and 7?
Yep, on 6, it's a commercial rehab property, and the names are disclosed.
Okay. All right, we'll read number 6. Review, discuss entering into the Project 5 Community Development Block Grant Funded Commercial Rehabilitation Deferred Payment Loan Contract between the town and the property owners in the amount of $14,790. Entertain a motion to recommend to town council for approval.
So moved.
Second.
That's fine. Okay, so,
This is a request to continue work on the Spanish market. This time, we can allow them to have the awnings and signs that you see here. And this is the condition of the current pylon sign that they'll be replacing with something, with that sign.
We've already started painting the building.
Yep.
So they go from green to blue?
Nice solid.
I like the yellow, though, the yellow can get it out.
Any questions on the table? Councilor Adams?
Just to make a comment, that place sorely needs upgrading and updating and a little bit of, with all the work that's happening in that area. Maybe I'm not a big favor of all the blue, but the fact is you start seeing some progress being happening. I see it, all of it's painted, and hopefully it'll replace that mural with a mural on the side of the building. But that's up to them. That's all I have.
Anyone else at the table? In the audience? Very good. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Item number 7, review, discuss entering into the Project 7 Community Development Block Grant Funded Commercial Rehabilitation Deferred Payment Loan Contract between the town and the business owners in the amount of $6,245. Entertain a motion to recommend to Town Council for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
So this will be at 344 Main Street. It's for the business owners, so they are eligible for,
Oh, Dynasty, okay.
they're eligible for the signs and awnings. This new sign that will go up. And then they'll have awnings. There is no picture of the awnings because they haven't picked up what they wanted.
We've been here for a long time.
Any discussion at the table?
Just 1 second, please.
Certainly.
Sorry. Okay, so on number 7, the attachment at the back still has that blue building?
Yes,
So it still
I
has that?
fixed it. So I didn't fix it in your
Okay.
attachments, but I
Okay.
did fix it in the contract that'll move forward so that it has the correct attachments.
So
with
when
the
we get it for
dynasty.
Monday night, that'll have it on the
Yeah.
back end? Thank you. That's all I have.
Council Shania?
Was this application originally part of the white paper strategies?
No, because they were looking for improvements to the property that included painting and installation of an ADA ramp, for example. This one is for the signs and awnings, which
So-
never has a 25% match.
Did we do the white paper strategy one already? Was I out? Or they pulled that back?
It was pulled back.
Because the reason I'm opposed to it, to be honest with you, they spent around $12 million in town here, white paper strategies, for the block on Main Street, for Cross Street, I believe, out of Hamilton Street.
They spent more than that.
And they spent all this kind of money and they cannot fix a tenant's property to make it look good,
So
that it's relied to on the tenant.
Councilor Adams?
maybe to answer this question, first of all, it was already shot back, basically because of a policy issue that we weren't understanding as far as the town council. Those areas in which they're just a company doing exactly what they should be doing. They should be going after every money that they possibly can that's not theirs to help their area. But the fact is, there was a large discussion in here about 25% payback or 0% payback, and I believe the economic development team is working on that new policy, or at least bringing it to the town council for us to have a policy placed where we can vote on, is it 10%, 15%, 25% matching funds. But that piece you were talking about was pushed back.
All right, but what's disturbing to me is that Dynasty, they could be gone in 6 months from now by being either leased, not being renewed, or those kind of things. So we're gonna be spending, I realize, what, $6,000?
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's not a whole lot of money, but when you spend millions and millions of dollars to purchase property and you cannot take care of your tenants, there's something wrong. I mean, I'll support this because it's Dynasty, a local business in itself, but I think it's time that we start considering where these monies are going to, into the buildings that are being purchased by these LLCs and hedge fund companies and that kind of stuff. Because their goal is to eventually move people out of the property. If you read white paper strategy, if I was a tenant, I'd be worried about where I'm gonna be a year from now and spending all this kind of money in a place. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. I would support it because it's a small investment. It is for a local business that's trying to make it here. And it's not going too technically, it's not going too white paper, but it is. I mean, you know, so.
Peg?
Yeah, if I could just chime in and remind us all, the previous owners, VTT Realty, or VTT, they owned the Edwards Block and 344 Main. They did no maintenance. It was a disappointment. We had a candy store that was ready to come into 344 Hamilton and found they had illegal egresses and they didn't have, you know, any of the requirements, and they weren't willing to make the upgrades. That would have been a real win for the town. So although I know this new, you know, white paper strategies is coming in, you know, we're concerned, right? We don't know what direction they're going to go. I'm hopeful that at least it's someone new that's going to be investing, and the least we can do is support our small businesses in the meantime.
I mean, I agree. I mean, it's a local business and they're trying it. I have difficulties because being involved to where I live when big people take over. I moved out of my place Thursday, they gutted it Friday. So, I mean, it's just, they don't care about the people. They care for the bottom line, what it's going to bring them. And I don't want to support that bottom line as a town with town funds, to be honest.
Okay, anyone else? Very well, all those in favor? Opposed, unanimous of all present. Item number 8, discussion of how to gain highway access at the intersection of Route 20 and 169. Councilman Tigney,
Hello.
Vice Chair, come on up.
You're off the hot seat.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
Peg.
So, this is something that I've always wanted to see. I think a lot of people have always wanted to see this. And I just think this year in the new session, me and Councilor Adams wanted to hit the ground running and see if we can do something. And I think, to make a long story short, though we can talk as much as we'd like about it, I think we need to get on the same page as Charlton. And, you know, I can't see why this would be a real negative thing for a lot of people. You know, try to put a connection from the Mass Pike to Southbridge, a nice exit that says Southbridge 169, Charlton 20. I think it's okay to dream, you know, why not Southbridge? And there's definitely problems with making that exit, or else they'd have it already, in my opinion. It's a pretty busy enough section. I know there's some wetlands across the way and stuff like that, but, you know, I'm not really too focused on how difficult it might be. I just think there needs to be some sort of a connector there, and like, how can we get more eyes on it, people that can actually make it happen, unified, two towns trying to go for the same piece of the pie, because we just want to be able to have people here. And I'm a big proponent, after doing this for a few years with you guys, you know, if you build it, they will come. And it's the furthest location away from the current exit. It's the closest location to our commercial, as opposed to like trying to do the old 49 story down by the airport, like they tried to do years ago. So, well, I mean, we just wanted to put it on the agenda so it could be discussed in public and just let people know that it's something that we were looking forward to. I hope the council as a whole would, you know, at least bless some sort of maybe letter saying that we are interested in exploring avenues. You know, I'd like to hear from anybody, this board, the chairman, of course, Mr. Lazo, Councilor Lazo, so.
I like by DB.
Starts with a DD. Where were you thinking this exit's gonna come off the Mass Pike? I'm trying to visually
Just
figure out where.
straight across 169. If you look on a map, they have built this new storage facility to the west of this proposed
Is that
idea.
in that's in Charlton or
Charlton.
Sturbridge?
Charlton.
Charlton.
Yeah. 169 and 20.
This is 84 and 90. This is 169.
So he wants it up in this vicinity.
Yeah, the right has like power lines and a small river,
So,
and then the left has the new storage facility. And there's a path of it's homes right now, just a few homes, but it is the straightest way to get to the pike.
so, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
Councilor Adamson, Councilor Kelly.
I'll love to listen to what Councilor
Councilor
Kelly
Kelly.
has.
So,
And then Councilor Lazo.
I think you really have to think this through if we want to make a proposal to DOT. Because, I mean, that's who's going to control this, is DOT. It's a state issue. Why, for one second, what questions we have to have it's 10 miles or 11 miles between I-84 and the Auburn exit. There are no stops in between. There are 2 service plazas in between. One in where the proposed location is, as I understand it, is about a mile to not even a mile to the west, and the other one is maybe half a mile to the east. So they already have ramps and everything going there. Why isn't, we have to answer the question, why isn't the exit off of 84 sufficient, since that leads to Route 20? And why isn't the River Road exit on 84 sufficient access to our town? Those are questions we'd have to answer. The other question is, we'd have to answer why an exit here only a mile away from the I-84 exit, because that's all it is, by the way, as far as 90 is concerned. Why not, if we wanted to do that as a project, you're talking about building another access road from 20 down to the Pike, from to 20 and 169, but actually, I think hold on, I just lost my place here on the map. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't the Cloverleaf be on Brookfield Road, since there's already a road there?
Well, it's 5 miles, just a point of clarification. But
Oh, okay, so 5 miles.
Yeah.
I don't know it's 5 miles, because there's only 10 miles between there and Auburn. So, and it's 6 miles from the Auburn exit to, but anyway, 4 miles, 3 miles, doesn't matter.
Sure.
We're relatively short distance from the 84 exit.
Worcester's got a few close ones.
Worcester has no exits.
Or Auburn right before it. There's those 3 exits right next to each other.
There's
Millbury side, I guess.
There's Millbury and
146.
146.
Yeah.
In Auburn.
Yeah.
So can I
And Grafton.
I think, Mr.
Okay.
Chair, just so you, I think the whole purpose of behind just introducing this is why not? Can we do
Right.
it this way? And I think it's just planting the seed, and Peg helped us out, and I appreciate Mike showing the interest in what. And so there was a lot of businesses locally that have asked for this since I've been on the council. We're just planting the seed here at this point in time to make sure it's discussed. But I think a lot of us should be asking a lot of questions on it. One thing that we've talked to Peg about was CMRPC, Central Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission, which would actually be a big proponent to help us out as far as the design, where it may go or something like that down the road. State legislators and stuff, we'd have to push for it. This may be 10 years down the road, it may be 4 years, who knows what they're looking for. But I would say, why, if the public's asking, why would we want it? First of all, a lot of businesses, probably a little bit larger businesses, have asked for it. Now you have the Amazon plan at this point in time that's coming in, and 20 is going to be a mess. We already start seeing the backups as it is, even though they redid the roads. You talk about our local airport, Wellsworth Hotel, hospital, stuff like that could be direct shoots right off of that as well. And I think it's just a great starting point to bring it to planning and development, and it should be critiqued very hard of why we want it. we even brought up, maybe it doesn't go there. Maybe the engineers and the planners down the road say, maybe this is a better area in which it goes into Southbridge. Who knows? We prefer it in this location, but, you know, they may come up with something, but if we can get some type of exit into our community nearby, I think it would help out with our community.
Right, and if I may, Mr. Chairman. And I'm not critical of it. I'm 100% in favor of something like that.
Oh, understood.
Okay, I'm just saying that I'm kind of being devil's advocate
Yep,
here.
totally.
And just thinking of questions that we would need to answer to make a case for this. Okay, that's really my point.
Good.
Great points. I mean, that it should be asked that way, because it's not.
Absolutely.
We wish it, and they come and start building and throwing some cement on the ground. It's not going to happen. So we want us to be critiqued, but we want the benefit for our community. LNG plant's another one. So I don't know if the other communities would agree with this, because we're going on their area, but you know, who knows?
That would be another issue too. I mean, we'd have to get Charlton on board, and particularly Charlton, but you make some good points. I mean, there's a lot of stuff up there. The Amazon, I don't know what you call it, plant, but the Amazon operation up there is, certainly could benefit from something like this. So maybe we get Amazon involved as well.
Very good point.
So,
Chairman?
This road access is gonna be all politics. And what you have to do is get on board with the politics of this. Where does it go? Nobody knows. We would like it to benefit our town. The closer you get to 148, you gain the political power of Spencer, the Brookfields. What needs to happen is, if the Central Mass Planning Commission is gonna get involved in this, or do we as a committee follow, sit down with the Charlton representatives? Because if we're gonna be coming in, like a lot of people would say, well, look how close the Pike is to Route 20, opposite the brewery.
Oh, treehouse right there.
Okay,
too, yeah.
what kind of off-ramp would that take, about 150 feet, where the registry used to be? They have a station there. So when you look at the design of this, I really think that we, as a council, or a representative of the council, are you on the Central Mass
Yeah.
Planning Commission, right? You would be the man that would float that, carry the ball for Southbridge. But I think what has to happen is, if you move it where it benefits more communities, you're gonna get more state representatives,
Right.
more senators. They're gonna say, wait a minute, this is not only good, I mean, I'm not just gonna pick Amazon. Amazon's gonna be successful whether the Pike's there or not. We do want their weight on a yes from them, where, the more businesses get on board, all of a sudden the politicians start listening, DOT starts listening, then you get a snowball effect where everybody wants to get involved in this thing, because it's not a matter of whether they're gonna do it or not, it's a matter of where to go. But I really do think the old history is 148 was supposed to come right into Southbridge.
Yeah.
Now, don't rule that out. At the same time, don't rule out 169. But then it could be something between the both of them that could feed both sides. We don't know that. When you go into a project, the planning part of it, and the sit-downs and the politics of it, to get the state and to get the DOT to say, what about us in Central Mass? We spend tons of money that side of 128, 495. What about Central Mass? It's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I'm on board 100%. I will go meet with any town. If I sit as chair, I don't need any more jobs. But I will be honest with you, planning development's a great committee. Maybe formulate a small 3-member group. We had a water committee, we bought the water company, that sat down and dealt with the water and dealt with Charlton's land swaps. I was on that committee. 3 board of selectmen, 3 town councilors. Went to Charlton, came to Southbridge to swap the Dick Tracy's nose for 68 acres of land, border move. 6 months, we had that thing locked up. Southbridge had 68 years to their landfill, which we squandered. And they got Dick Tracy's nose because in their world, that was the most important thing. They had elected officials living in that house. So when you look at the project, don't think that it's gonna take some magic politics here. We need our neighbors, and our neighbors are gonna need us. But the thing is, if you somehow drag Spencer into it, they have some heavyweights up north also, in the Senate and in the House. So those are the guys that are gonna pull the wagon. We can be spark plugs, but we need help upstairs. I think it's a great idea. I think it's worth pursuing, and I think maybe we have to move with, maybe a sit down with Charlton. Because that Mass Pike comes so close to Route 20 at one point, and then it moves away from it. I think we need to look at an area chart of what Kelly's looking at. You know, where does that magic moment come in, and how does it feed Southbridge?
Okay, just to answer that, we actually had the map up and everything and trying to look at it. So they're all great points. You got to start from somewhere, and maybe it deviates a little bit from what the original idea is, or it doesn't. I mean, I think it's just, we already know the answer if we don't ask the question. So I think this is where we can help out. And I apologize if I may have spoke out of line, so I think Peg's here to correct me.
So Dave mentioned the CMRPC as maybe a tool to helping us plan. My personal opinion, we may do a better job on our own, either hiring a private engineer to help us with a feasibility study to pitch an idea after you start to.
I still think you have to get together with Charlton.
Yeah, however you want to do that.
Because if Charlton is in favor of it, they're gonna pay their portion
Sure. But my point is,
of what we're doing.
I brought the idea up because this has been an idea for the town for decades. I brought the idea up when I first became director, and it was laughed at by CMRPC's transportation team. Not team, but one of the members. And I think it's because it was just one of these like, oh, you've got a pipe dream, you know, you don't know what you're talking about kind of thing, right? But then when I was at one of these visioning exercises for, it was, you know, Imagine 2050, I think is the name of the plan that came out, and it's all about regional transportation. There were obvious issues with the amount of traffic on 84 and 20. And so we were talking about this in this meeting, like, could this be one of those regional solutions to help alleviate that? Just like you're talking about, in the future it's gonna get worse because
I mean, think about it, we have an airport sitting on that side of Southbridge. I mean, this could be something really big.
And then the other mention we had during the meeting was about this, there's a brand new grant opportunity, but it's MassDOT's grant. So would we be, and the grant is to do feasibility studies. So they would pay for it, you would do it for them, they could do an analysis.
Can we go for the grant and invite our good neighbors to come with us?
I'm sure you could. I was saying we should definitely lead, but we should have supporters. But is that, knowing that, like Councilor Kelly was saying, MassDOT's going to be they are the ones that are going to be the decision maker here. Are we hurting ourselves by going to them first, that they could just potentially shoot it down and say, this is not this?
I think what you're gonna see from MassDOT is they're gonna worry about, what about the neighbors? They're gonna worry about it. If we could somehow get a line of communication or an open discussion, I don't know if that's, it's, again, put it on the table, everybody can see it through their lenses. What do you wanna do first, second, and third? I'm not stuck on anything, I think it's a win-win.
If the town was to consider this new grant opportunity through MassDOT, do you remember what it said the timeline was?
I thought you said it was end of September
Okay,
for the application.
So the application's due at the end of September, so that will come up fast. So if that's a direction the town wanted to go, we would have to make that decision.
Anybody, I don't wanna expand this discussion too far, but I'm in favor of it. Go for it.
Why not?
The only thing I wanted to add, if I may, and with the one question you had asked at the beginning, it's a direct access to the center of Charlton and the center of Southbridge. You can't get any more direct than that. I understand how close in proximity all the things are, but we can't get it if we don't try. And it is the furthest location that would benefit Southbridge away from exit 9 or whatever you want to call that exit now. And you know, but yeah, should we, through you to the chair or anybody, should we be recommending?
It seems to me we do the feasibility study first, and if they say that it's possible, then we can go to Charlton and to Spencer and say, hey, look, we've done some homework here. This is possible, it's doable. Are you willing to get in on it with us? And if they say yes, then we go for it, and if they say no, well, then we're kinda shot down. But we gotta go to Charlton and say, and Spencer, and say, hey, look, this is what we can do here, it's feasible, we did our homework, we're presenting this to you now because we'd like to go forward, and we're inviting you to come along with us.
I do think if we take the lead on it, I like that better than anything, is we taking the lead
And
on
we're
it.
taking the lead on it,
I mean, that's just the way I see it.
yeah,
You know, and then when we go to the table, we have
we've done the
a
work,
document, we've done the work.
yeah.
And I think DOT and Mass Planning Commission would look at us in a very favorable way as far as our aggressiveness to move on Central Mass and upgrade. I say go for it.
My memory is still as sharp as it used to be.
Can you repeat that again?
Back where American Reclamation used to be, on the right-hand side of going on 20 going up, bordered the Mass Turnpike. There was originally a proposal to build a casino in Sturbridge where the treehouse is today, in that field. And there's a direct, the powers to be, which I recall right, was they were able to sell that ramp to come off the turnpike could be right where that American Reclamation is, because it borders the turnpike property. It's probably one of the shortest accesses to the turnpike there, if it was the ramp. And then it was talked about, they talked about, you know, the impact of traffic and that why it would be a great thing. Since then, you have Treehouse, you have the gas plant on Worcester Street, you have
Amazon. just down the
Amazon,
road.
and you've got another big warehouse soon to be opening up just up the street from Amazon. So all those things, I believe, would be a great sell to show why a ramp is needed in the Charlton Southbridge area. And I think it's important that we include our Charlton people at some point in time. But if we apply for the feasibility study through this DOT grant, I think it's a good first step. We would get a better idea on where the state would be in supporting of this or not supporting it. And then we could get our partners with Central Mass and those kind of things. I think it's a great idea.
Councilor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. Right, I think Council Lazo makes a really good point about getting other communities involved. The more communities we get involved would certainly give us a lot more political weight on a project like this. So, you know, not only Charlton, but Spencer, I note that there is no real access for Spencer, or Leicester for that matter, they're inconvenient access. So, you know, I think when we do a feasibility study, we want to try to include as many, as many towns as possible to get the biggest bang for our buck. I think that was a really good point. Thank you.
Just clarification, were you suggesting a private feasibility study, or were you suggesting the MassDOT application for a feasibility study?
You need the application to,
The application.
you need the grant to pay for it, right?
If,
Well, let's start with that first. If we can get it for a little or no cost, I'd rather go that way.
We're gonna get done tomorrow for that, right?
Am
I'll
I
get it
speaking
tomorrow.
out of turn?
Sorry to do it on her phone.
Is that grant to pay for a private study?
so that's a good question. What I wonder is if it's MassDOT using their own resources. So it's their people potentially doing the study. So if there's bias within, you're right, could they
Yeah.
steer the feasibility study direction? That's my only fear.
Well,
Say that one more time.
So say if, I'm not sure how this grant works. If in fact it's their own people that are doing the study, what if they have their own opinions they're gonna bring to the table about whether this should go forward or not? That would affect the outcome of the study.
Right.
So maybe I can contact them tomorrow and say, hey, this is a great new program. Tell me how it will work. Will we be allowed to hire an outside consultant?
I think you're getting the direction. I'm a big fan of the councilors and the citizen member put their thoughts on the table. You get a feel of what we're talking about, you know what we'd like to do, and you know how we would like to do it. I don't wanna sit here and tell you, do this, do that. I'd rather give you the green light, you go get, you go, and you know,
I
and
like
how to work the
direction.
game. You're not, it's not your first problem. So I think you hear the councilors here, we're interested in getting an access road to Southbridge. Now, I'm sure they're not gonna drive right down to Main Street, Southbridge, at least not right now, but you see where we're talking about the Mass Pike, 86, 20, all of it. We need a connector, road access for business into Southbridge.
Do we put that on the agenda for Monday night, authorizing?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same
Okay,
thing.
just
Set up a
do that.
Also,
motion.
they wanna look at how the grant is gonna work first,
I could look into it between now and
nose
Monday.
around with the DOT and
Well,
see.
We have a meeting on the 25th again, Chair, so I mean,
Right,
we
I
got a
don't
couple.
wanna rush it up Monday.
Yeah,
September's the deadline.
But if I'm
September.
better informed for the vote, it might be more productive vote.
25th?
If we waited until August 25th, you're saying?
that's what I was thinking,
If that's enough
that's
time
not
for you
enough
to
time
still-
for you.
You
Yeah,
want it on
that's
Monday?
It's up to you. I can look into it between now and Monday, or you can wait 2 weeks and we can put it on the
Look
August
into
25th.
it immediately, green light, go, and we'll work on the 25th.
Okay.
And you'll come
Bring it.
back if you say you can't do it, you know?
Oh, well, or I'll tell you, it's gonna be
I mean,
messed up.
if
It's gonna
you
be messed
need
up.
a-
Staff,
if-
do you still wanna go forward?
If you need a subcommittee meeting again, just call John, we'll put one on before the
Okay.
25th.
Yep.
Okay, I think that would be better, and at that time, we can bring forward the commercial rehab research we've done, that discussion.
Good idea.
Yep,
So, in the meantime, direction is, I can reach out to the Charlton Selectmen, have a
I think
conversation.
I wanna take Peg's approach. Let's take the lead on the study part, and then
Yeah.
allow them to join us at a later date, so that we wanna be the leaders to work on this. It's Southbridge's best interest.
Yeah, and once this meeting posts, I mean, everybody knows it's gonna be out there, and I'll post it as well, just so, but the fact is, I mean, if we do, I mean, I think we can do multiple things at one time while you're doing the grant, if it's feasible for us. We can start reaching out to the selectmen of
Right.
every town and just say, this is what we wanna, this is what we're looking at doing, and, you know, come on board and let's see if we can work together on this.
And I think, like, thinking about language, you could say, you know, we're willing to do the grunt work of the grant application and get this through if we can, right, if we can get your support so that, you know, they see us as doing a service for everyone.
So you think we should do it simultaneously?
It's up to you, whatever you think about strategy.
I think it's gonna be-
I'd like to know a little bit more of what you got on the burn and what's cooking before I go to Charlton. I know them very well, I've dealt with the town, and every town looks out for their own town. But the thing is, in some cases, some will run with their own program.
Right.
I can
I'd
wait
rather have
till,
more
I'll just
knowledge.
wait, I'll wait
I'd
till
rather
you
have more
say.
knowledge at that time.
I can wait to push through, if you find that information, no problem, it's an easy thing. They're gonna know tomorrow if this thing gets posted, somebody's gonna send it out there.
Nice job.
I think healthy,
All
great
right, well,
discussion.
Yeah,
thank
and I
you.
just- yeah,
Well, it sounds good.
I want to thank the counselors sincerely for bringing this forward. This is excellent.
All right. Well, it sounds like we have maybe a light way down at the end of the tunnel somewhere.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. I'm satisfied. I mean, there's no vote or anything if you guys aren't taking one, so.
Okay. Item number 9 is adjourned.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? We are adjourned.